Hey, beautiful traders, welcome back to yet another episode of our weekly Forex Forecast. My name is Desmond Someone, and I urge you guys to see through to the end because I like to leave the best for the last. And if you're coming across this channel for the first time, I'm going to assume that you want to make money before December, before the year runs out. So practically this video is very, very important because you have to see through and watch. So I'm about to debunk every single break down every single confusing move that you've seen in the market in recent times. All right, so the first pair on my list now is the euro dollar, justifiably so, because this is one of the easiest pairs to trade. All right, so if you look at things from a weekly time frame perspective, we've actually rallied into a supply level that knocked this guy all the way back down here. Resisted price in the past, okay, held back price here, and then it has knocked this guy once again all the way back down. So technically speaking, this is more or less a continuation of this same thing that occurred here, which will most likely collapse this pair all the way back down. Now let me finish before you click off. Hold on, let me show you guys what I mean. So judging from the weekly time frame here, we've actually been stuck in this nasty range sideways movement for a while now, and for some reason we're just struggling to make headway with this pair. It just stays one place. It's pissing me off. All right, so now what things look like now is this is a supply level that has acted here, and the market just just came back here, retested here, and then went up to create a double top at this point. So this is a reversal chart pattern. Even if, regardless of the trend, assuming if the trend is a downtrend, I say double top, now that is a continuation chart pattern. In this case here, the overall trend for the euro is actually down, and then we are seeing a double top here, so this is actually a continuation chart pattern. But in this case, if you're in an uptrend and then you see a double top like so, this is an uptrend, medium term, I mean talking from this point here, okay, this is an uptrend here. So seeing a double top in an uptrend is a reversal chart pattern. All right, so take note. So now as things look here, this is where we are at as far as the euro is concerned. So we have actually created an equal high here, and then this is looking like a collapse, like a potential collapse to the downside. First of all, this is a weekly engulfing pattern. Okay, this engulfed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, practically the last 6 weeks price action here was engulfed by one single candle. That is insane. And then that also came in with a double top, which is a reversal chart pattern. So this is looking like it may actually roll over to the downside, practically maybe Q1 or towards the end of Q4, which is the end of this year. I don't know. But as things look here, this is looking like a halt and a potential continuation to the downside. Now, how do I know this? Pay attention, guys. So now, looking at things here from this perspective here, we have this trend here. So this is one touch, second touch, and then this is a third touch here, okay? So the market is most likely going to come in and dip. Even if it may not necessarily dip this low, at least it may actually come and play around this reason before actually going up to fulfill a technical criteria, which happens to be the neckline retest of this double top. So here we have a decent trend on our hands here. All right, so now getting rid of this weekly trend, and let's see what we have here. So trying to connect these two here, this first 1, 2 here, let's see how it looks. So this touch 1, touch 2, so we're actually out of this downtrend here. As you can see, the market even came on here to create a supply level around this retest and continuation of this trend line. So what we have in our hands here is a double top check, all right, in a downtrend. Overall trend is down. So now coming here, we now have to come and identify our neckline. So this is a chart pattern, and we have to come back and identify the neckline, because technically speaking, when the market breaks through a range of the neckline of a range, it has to come back to retest that neckline before it continues lower or higher, depending on the scenario. So in this case here, what we have here is a chart pattern pointing to the downside. So what we need to see is for the market to come back into this neckline here to be tested before we actually continue lower. So what I am expecting on the euro dollar, which is also something that you need to be looking out for, which is why I said I was going to debunk every single confusion or confusing pairs that you've been noticing lately. All right, so this is exactly what's happening in the market. Potential continuation to the downside as far as price action looks. Okay, so now this is what's going to happen here. So I'm just going to go ahead and make this guy thicker so you guys can see clearly. Just bring this guy higher, make it thicker. All right, so this is what things look like on the daily time frame. We have a double top here, like an M pattern. All right, this was the neckline, and that neckline broke out with a trend line break, and then also with a supply level play here. All right, so scaling down to the 4-hour time frame, let me just show you guys how this looks. So scrolling down to the 4-hour time frame, we can even further come back to collapse this our neckline towards this supply level somewhere around here. So now what we need to see is for the market to come into the supply level before we actually collapse further. I see no reason why that should be confusing. That is actually quite straightforward. And if you look, that supply level is just around our Fibonacci. And you guys know by now that I do absolutely nothing without my Fibonacci too. All right, so what we need to be looking out for is very, very simple. We need the market to come into this bar right here, around this neckline, this supply level right here. Okay, so give us something like this. It's already happening. Okay, so we need to see the market pull in here and then give us this same engulfing pattern here, this same 4-hour engulfing pattern here. Let us see a bounce off of here. Once we establish that bounce, we are actually definitely good to go. So what I'm actually looking at for now is about 180 pips to the downside here, and once this level gets broken here, we have space all the way to the blue bar. And now, provided that we stay below this neckline, once we retest here, we are definitely going to collapse further on the euro, because that is exactly the price action that I'm seeing here. Technically speaking, all right, the dollar seems to be gaining some momentum, and which is something I'm going to be talking about in subsequent pairs. So now the next pair. So taking it again, we need to see the market come back to test supply levels here. So all of you guys that were bullish with me, guys, the market is dynamic, so anything can happen, flip at any single time. So that's why I always urge you guys to subscribe to my channel and turn on the bell icon and watch these videos over and over and over again, so you actually get to learn how the market acts. So you could be very, very confident in a bullish play, and the market just ends up switching bearish. And also the US election is just around the corner. I think that's in November thereabouts. So you really want to be careful, because this thing spike up the dollar, and a positive result could definitely spike up the dollar, and then causing all other pairs to collapse. So like I said again, I'm actually waiting for the market to pull into this bar right here, this yellow bar. Once I see a decent pullback into this zone right here, I'll be very, very confident to collapse this guy all the way to the downside. So the entry will look very, very simple. You see the same way we had this bounce here. We need to see 1 4-hour engulfing bounce. All right, potentially that's if the market does not give us a flag pattern while going back up to this point here. So what I need to see is very, very simple. Once I see that engulfing 4-hour kind of bounce off of that level here, I will be very confident to come in here and short this guy. Okay, stops will be obviously above here. Then my targets will be all the way down here. It looks like a very, very simple trade. All right, but believe me, if you don't get your entries correct, which is why I urge you guys to also enroll for my course where I teach how to navigate the market, and then also how to execute, because it is one thing to analyze the market, and it's a different thing entirely to guide and execute profitably. All right, so those are two different things entirely taught in the course. The next pair now would be the pound sterling. I hope this is the right chart I just popped. Yeah, it is the right chart. So now also for the pound sterling here, judging from the weekly time frame perspective here, we had a very, very, very strong engulfing pattern, which is the weekly engulfing candle that has actually engulfed week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5 of price action. All right, over 1 month of price action has been engulfed in just 1 week. So this is where you need to be extremely careful, because on the other hand, we have a trend line holding this guy to the upside, which has had 1 bounce, 2nd bounce, 3rd. So this is currently the 4th bounce here. However, as things look here, I'm not really confident in longing this guy here, as far as I'm concerned. As far as the euro is acting like that, and as far as the dollar is gaining some momentum, I'm not exactly confident in longing this guy. If anything, what will negate my stand right now is if I see once again an engulfing pattern, just like I've seen here. Once I see the engulfing pattern break above here, then I'll be very confident to go in and buy this guy. However, as things stand here, this is a very, very, very steep downtrend here. I see no reason as to why the market will suddenly rally higher. But hey, as I always say, anything can happen in this market. So what you need to be looking out for here, look out for a 4-hour engulfing bounce, just like so. We need to see that 4-hour bullish engulfing kind of bounce off of here. Once you have that bounce here, then maybe, because as things look, once again, we are in this downtrend here. We are in a tight squeeze here, so we could even come in to give that engulfing pattern here. I don't know yet, but the market has to be set. All right. So what I will personally urge you guys to look out for is to see if at all we will have like a decent engulfing 4-hour candle bounce above here. Then it may go in for some quick scalps to maybe this supply level here, because that is actually where the imbalance is as far as I'm concerned. So this is exactly how it looks on the 4-hour time frame. Yeah. It comes yet again into a supply level, so you could go in for some quick buys. Potentially, if you see a decent bounce off here, a 4-hour engulfing, you could go in for some quick buys to this point here, and watch out, because the market could easily collapse further from here, because this was when the market built that momentum before that sudden collapse to the downside. So the market could easily come back here as per supply level to just kind of like validate before actually continuing to the downside. So 2 things here is either we actually put in a bullish engulfing pattern, then we start buying from here, or we just break below this channel and start edging lower. So if this happens here, we have space to the downside somewhere around here. Okay, so this is the most this is the next immediate demand level here. So the market could even give us an entry position somewhere around here where we can actually break below, then retest this trend line and then this bar here before actually start collapsing to the downside. But as things stand here, this is quite tricky because yet again the dollar is gaining some serious momentum, and you really do not want to be on the wrong side of the move as far as these pairs are concerned. All right, so the next pair on my list now will be rather shortly. Alright, so the next pair on my list is the pound card. I called out this pair right from the inside of here. I told you guys to actually watch out closely that the market, after creating this demand level here, will always come back to retest it. All right, and that was the case here. So if I had like a decent Fibonacci play from swing low here all the way to swing high, and then the market came right into this 0.600 region, and then it is now starting to head higher at this. So at this point here, yeah, was where the market actually hit our first take profit point, smashed, and then gave us that pullback. So this next, rally now could be into the extension point. So you guys remember what I said about the Fibonacci play here. So this could even be going into the negative 0.27 extension point here before we actually have that pause or potential reversal to the downside. All right. So the next pair now on my list now will be the USD card. So USD card, on the other hand, has had a very, very, very decent rally to the upside now, and as things stand here, this is what's happening currently on the pound, on the USD card. Okay, so as far as USD card is concerned here, we came on right into the middle of nowhere and created a double bottom here, and in this case here, this is usually a reversal pattern to the upside and followed by a series of green candles here, bluish candles here, without any single halting whatsoever. So this is momentum as far as I'm concerned, because on the weekly time frame, this is exactly how it looks. Okay, so it looks like this. So this is definitely momentum here, and then unfortunately we have actually rallied into supply levels here, and I'm expecting some weakness in the dollar card here. So what I'm actually going to be looking at for here is very, very simple. Since we have actually rallied into potential supply levels here, we need to look out for a pullback into this neckline here before we actually continue higher. So my call here for the USD card is you can go ahead and short USD card at this point here, but mind you, I'm actually looking out for the buying opportunity somewhere around here. So I need to see the market pull back into this neckline here of the bottom here. I need to see the market pulling deeper in this point here, test this point, and then give me like an entry confirmation before I actually take this guy higher, since the overall trend is still bullish as far as I'm concerned on the USD card. All right, so that's just that for the dollar card. So the next pair now on my list would be let's see, this pair is AUDUSD, not really enticing at the moment. So let's talk about gold. So gold, on the other hand, has gone ahead to create a new high, which is something that I had been earnestly waiting for. Guys, it looks like gold is actually finally ready for that $3,000 per ounce. Looks like it is finally ready, because if you guys can remember, I said to you guys that as far as this guy is in a range here, I have no business with it. But I need to see the market break above here and give me a decent entry confirmation. Let me just go ahead and delete this guy because he's actually useless at this point. So this guy is actually headed higher. So for gold now here, we have actually gone ahead to put in a new high, which is around $2,723 per ounce for gold. So what I need to see is very simple, a pullback. Okay, so what I need to see is a pullback into this 2,680 region here, and then I'll have a very, very decent criteria for entry. So on the 4-hour time frame, this is how things look here. We have actually broken out of this range, and then you guys know after a range comes an impulsive, or in some cases, or rather expressed as exponential move in the upward trajectory as far as this gold direction is concerned. So what we need to see is a pullback into this demand level here. Let the market come back and test this demand level and give us a decent bounce like this. So we can now. So one thing about gold is just find a decent consolidation area and then just make your entry, because this guy headed to $3,000 per ounce as far as I'm concerned. All right, negates the idea of deeper pullback on gold as far as this momentum is concerned. We may not see that deeper pullback here. However, we may even see a potential to the upside. So what you should be praying for and hoping for is that the market comes in for this pullback somewhere around here, like so. Like let us see maybe just one dip here. Okay, just one dip into this region and then a balancing, so you can actually have your entry and then just slap your entry on this guy on a buy trade, and allow this market go all the way to $3,000 per ounce, which is exactly where it is headed. As far as gold is concerned, it is going for that $3,000 per ounce region, and there's actually nothing standing in its way. to be honest. It's clear. All right. So next panel on my list is I think silver also has a very decent play. So I had been calling out silver to $35 per ounce region, and in fact we are actually so close to smashing my targets for silver as far as this is concerned. So similar thing happened here again. We were in a range and we just came out of that range now, and it is looking like we are about to even rally into $35 per ounce for silver as far as I'm concerned. However, you guys know that after an impulsive move comes a consolidation or a potential pullback in this case. So where did my charts disappear to, guys? All right, so in this case now, what I'm actually praying for and hoping for is that we actually get a pullback into this bar right here around this $32 per ounce. If I can get that pullback here, then I'll actually have to add my entries there. Remember, guys, we called out silver all the way from 2028 or some $26 per ounce region somewhere around here. This was where we called out silver from, and we've been milking this guy all the way to the upside. Some decent pips here, checked in. So what we need to see to add to our positions is very simple. We need to see the market come in for that pullback here. Come in and test this level here, this $32 a barrel. Once that is tested and confirmed, and we have a decent bounce off of that level here, we have space all the way to $35, for silver as far as I'm concerned. So what that looks like is just a pullback into this bar right here. Let us see how this looks for a pullback. It could even dip deeper here. I don't care. The bottom line is that we need to see a pullback into this bar here. So once we see that pullback here and it is confirmed, we have space to the upside. All right, we have some decent pips to the upside here to play with. So if you miss the entire move from that $26 per ounce region here, we have yet another opportunity to go long on this guy here. All right, so which is why I always urge you guys to turn on the bell icon after subscribing so that you be amongst the people that actually get to see these ideas. All right, so AUDUSD, nothing what was the word again? Convincing there. All right, so the next pair now, the next pair that even seems to be having something going on for it is the S&P 500. All right. So as far as the S&P is concerned here, we had like an inverse head and shoulders pattern play, which I spoke to you guys about earlier on, and this is where things stand here. So we came on into this head shoulder pattern here, shoulder neck, head shoulder neckline break and retest here. So what we need to see is a decent pullback once again to this 5,720 basis point for the S&P 500, and we have space all the way to 6,400 basis points, which happens to be my prime target. I've been putting out this guy to that upside for a very long time, and it is looking like it is about to rally into my targets. Now, how did I know these targets here? I just simply measured the range peep here in between this top here and then this base here, and then I just simply brought out the toolbar and then put it at the neckline upon the breakout and the retest here, and this is exactly how it is looking like it is actually about to rally into the tune of 6,400 basis points around this level here, right, guys. So what we need to look out for is go down to 4-hour time frame. Very simple on the S&P 500. Now, mind you, the S&P has a very upward trajectory. It only trends upwards. The only time you see this guy in a downtrend is a pullback, to be honest. So what I need to see from the market here is from a swing low to a swing high here, and I need to see the market coming. So the market could potentially rally into 5,950 basis points somewhere around here. Then that starts giving us that pullback. So ideally, I should be expecting that pullback to fall into 5,700 basis points. And once that's the setup, because this is where the market created this demand level somewhere around here, and then the market always fall back into the demand level after creating it. So I need to see the market come back into demand levels here, and then I could actually be very confident about longing this guy to my 6,400 basis points prime target. The next pair now will be the DAX index. DAX also has a very similar structure, which is also pointing bullish. So what we need to... All right, guys, so the next pair on my list now is the DAX index. As you can see, so we have maintained a very decent uptrend on this guy. So what I need to see the market coming to do is a decent pullback on DAX. This is the German 30, all right? So this is the first touch, second touch, third touch of the trend line here. And you guys know the third touch always does the trick in the trading game. So even at the third touch, we went ahead to put in some form of an inverse head and shoulders pattern here. And then this is the left shoulder, right shoulder, neckline break. So what we need to see now is a decent pullback to test this neckline again before I actually continue to the upside. Now, the reason as to why I put this green bar right here is because I measured the range length from this base here to this base here, and then actually came out, and then I just adjusted my toolbar from the neckline, and I could see that once we break out of that range here, we have to rally into 21,008 basis points as far as the German index is concerned. That is the DAX index. All right. So now scaling down to the daily time frame. This is how things look on the daily time frame. What we need to see is that the market has actually gone ahead to create a demand level here that we can actually work with. So the next thing that we have to see now is that the market has to come in and test that demand level right at around 19,000 basis points around this base here. So we need to see that dip into this base here. Once we see that dip into this base, the market will now be finally ready to actually rally into 21,008 basis points as far as the DAX index is concerned. So this is just a quick overview of how the German 30 is actually setting up right now. So with S&P 500 pullback comes this guy's pullback, all right, and then also Nasdaq as well. I think the next one will be BTC. BTC on the other hand are starting to point to the upside again. So this is even looking as if we would potentially go into that 71,000 dollars per coin region again as far as BTC is concerned. So this is how things look here. It is very, very clear and very, very simple here. We came on here and we failed to actually test this demand level properly. Instead, we came and gave in the same thing USD card did here. It came in to put a double bottom at this point here, and then this was the demand level that was also the neckline break. So what we need to see is that the market has to pull back into this $62,000 per coin region somewhere around here, and then give us that continuation pattern. If it does not continue upwards like this, it may pull back into this demand level around here, and then finally rally into that $72,000 per coin region. And then if and only if we can break through here, we have, let me just go ahead and measure this range here. So we have from point A to point B right here, as you can see, like so, and measuring from this bottom here all the way to this base here, we have. So once we now come in and then extend this guy outside upon the break of this range here, this is exactly how things look. We have space all the way to potentially above $100,000 per coin. But I put this bar at $100,000 per coin because that is a rounded figure, and the market most likely always halts and turns around at rounded figures. All right. So we could be looking at BTC rallying into $100,000 per coin come Q1 2025. All right. Now, you guys know that I'm a swing trader, so I like to call up these trades, and it takes a while to play out. Next pair now, let's talk about oil. So oil on the other hand here, you see this whole Twitter kids and this whole Twitter children clan here. It is still stalling. It is still yet to decide, are we going to break above here? What are you doing, EURUSD? Just talk on this range here, okay? However, one thing is for sure, we have on our hands a reversal chart pattern. So in this case here, this is more or less a head shoulder pattern, and then this is the neckline now. So what we need to see is a break above this neckline and a break above this trend line. Once it's clear here, we have space all the way to 175, and subsequently we have space to 188. I won't talk much about that. Just be patient on the EURUSD pair now. So the next pair now is the pound JPY. Pound JPY also has a very, very decent opportunity to the upside. As far as I'm concerned, I'm actually bullish this guy as we speak. The pair is just again stuck around here, just so struggling to make progress. One thing is for sure, we have actually broken out of the neckline of this guy's chart pattern here, and then this is more or less like the third touch of the trend line here. If you doubt me, you can always go back and check my previous videos. I call that the first touch, second touch. This is the third touch here happening. You guys know that third touch always does the trick. So as far as I'm concerned here, the pound yen is actually headed higher. Now, when will this happen? I don't know. However, one thing is for sure, I'm actually bullish on this guy. All right. So I think the last pair on my list will be the USDJPY. So the USDJPY has a very solid play on his hand that I want to actually talk to you guys about. So overall time frame, we're actually bearish on this guy here as far as the price action is concerned. We've been painting series of lower lows and lower highs here right from this point here. So as things stand here, the market came in here to create a supply level here and then collapse. So the market is simply pulling back into that level, which happens to be third touch of a trend line and then also a supply level. So this is also a Fibonacci play happening on our hands, because if you come on to the daily time frame, I believe, daily time frame here, and then you can actually see things for yourself here, that the market is even coming in for a Fibonacci play and a supply level play. In this case here, like so. So this is the first touch. This is more or less first touch, second touch, third touch here, and then this is where the market is pulling back into. And then this is three things now. Third touch of the trend line, supply level here, and Fibonacci play. So you have from swing high all the way to swing low here to play with. So you see why I urge you guys again to always come over here to this channel to look at things for yourself. See, learn in depth. So what I need to see the market do is very, very simple. Come in and test this bar right here, this supply level here, and give me this bounce that this guy gave me. it's all about reaction, guys. How the market reacts around a level will tell you if you should go in or not. So give me this descent engulfing bounce here, bearish engulfing bounce here, then I'll be here to short this guy here. Prime target remains this bar right at this bar right, yes. And then in the event that we do negate this downtrend, and then for some reason we actually break above here and then retest, which I doubt, strongly doubt. Matter of fact, I'm favoring this guy to the downside to the tune of 80% and then 20% to the upside, because anything can happen. I'm just leaving room for anything that could possibly come up to actually frustrate our game plan here. But as things stand, I'm confidently bearish on this guy. What I need to see is the market come here and then just give me that engulfing chart pattern, candlestick pattern right here, and then I'll actually go in and short this guy. Prime target remains this base here, and in the event that we do break below that base, we have space. Once again, just come on the higher time frame. And how I actually plan my trades is that I come on the lower time frame to actually look at things, and I call up my trades, and then my targets are weekly levels, weekly turnaround levels. All right, so for my targets here, it will be very, very simple. All I have to do is just come in and look at where this guy reversed from on the weekly time frame perspective. Like, where do we actually have that major reversal after this low here? And I just come in and put my bar right there, so that whenever peradventure we actually go ahead to break below that level that I called here, we have space all the way to this downside, which is still around the same level, to be honest. But yeah, that's just that for the USD CHF. So I believe that I've covered every single pair in this market as far as I'm concerned. So guys, feel free to like and subscribe to my channel. At the end of this episode of our weekly Forex forecast, thank you so much for staying true to the end. Please leave a like, comment, and turn on the bell icon, and then subscribe to my channel. Then feel free to share this video to every single person that you think it might be beneficial to them, including traders and those who are even aspiring to become traders. All right, so thank you guys for staying true to the end. Once again, my name is Desmond Samuel, and I'll see you guys in my Telegram community and then also in the next subsequent videos. Peace out.